I picked that song.
Why'd you pick
Well,
that
we both picked it.
Well, just so everybody knows, hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Whatever It Takes podcast. This podcast is for anybody who is a gambler, compulsive gambler, or thinks that they maybe have a gambling problem and just want to explore the world of gambling from our point of view, which are recovering compulsive gamblers.
Boy, do we have a point of view, Rita.
We do. Yeah, we do. So why'd you pick that? Why'd you pick that song?
Why'd I pick this song? Because I will do whatever it takes, including the tattoo challenge, to never place a bet again. Never. And I can say that. Look at Rita's tattoo. It's so cool. Right. It steps with her date in it, and I have my clean date on my wrist.
Now, what do you want us to call you since you are anonymous?
My name is Jill.
Jill. All right. Yeah. All right. I like that. All right, Jill.
Jill.
The reason why we're doing this is because this is two different sides of the compulsive gambling and the recovery program. You know, I don't mind being out there. I'm Rita. I'm a compulsive gambler. And then this is the other side of it where you stay anonymous. Not everybody needs to know your business. And with compulsive gambling, it's like any addiction. You get judged.
Yeah, I think this one's worse.
I think so too.
This one has a stigma on it. And since I'm kind of out in the public,
yeah,
and have a little, people trust me, and I should be trusted. But I do have an addiction, and a lot of people don't know about it. And that kind of brings us to our topic today. Like, what is a gambling addiction? It's confusing. I didn't believe it at first. And I started gambling, 120 days, fell flat on my face, help. And so we want to bring the help before you get as far as I did. You know, Rita?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, I grew up with I grew up with a brother who was addicted to drugs, which eventually took his life, unfortunately. But growing up, I was told, you don't drink, you don't drug, but what you have to do is, stay clean, don't touch them, you have the vice. And so as I was saying, so my brother had drugs. I was a drug addiction that took his life eventually. So sad. And my dad and I found them, which we'll get into probably other podcasts. But yeah, but it was nothing for me to be 8 years old playing bingo in the church rectory, or first bet I ever made at a horse track was my dad, and I don't blame them for that. Absolutely not. They didn't know no better.
They probably didn't think it was an addiction.
No, because it just started being recognized, which will be another topic we'll cover in this podcast down the road. But let me tell you, absolutely, it's an addiction, but it's very hard to get people to recognize that it is an addiction. They think it's selfish.
People tell you just stop.
Yeah, just stop. Just stop.
It's been proven you can't use willpower. You just can't do it.
No.
I mean, I've tried to do it. Didn't work. Relapsed twice.
Yeah. I relapsed once. And, okay, since my first clean date.
Before I got in GA.
Right. When I
mental health disorders. And this one is called the gambling disorder.
Yes.
But it's in the DSM-5 because now it can be paid for, your treatment or whatever, by your insurance, because it is recognized in this manual.
Yes.
So that's a good thing. But what I learned once I came into a program, it's a freaking illness. It's a broken brain. It's you're addicted to dopamine.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I learned when I relapsed, I sadly tried to take my own life, which only landed me in a facility for about 5 days. But while in that facility, they did talk about addiction. And because I was centered for gambling, or spotted out, called out.
Was there help there for gambling?
No, there was one gentleman who, because while I was there, I was doing what I needed to do to get out of there. So I kept, at the end of the day, they would have this little prize cart that came out with an extra dessert on it.
Oh, hell
and I kept winning it. And then they would put me in a raffle to win an additional treat. And I kept telling him, stop putting me in your raffle. Counseling under his belt. And he pulled me aside and he said, listen, don't feel like you're relapsing. I get, they're trying to force you into this raffle. Like you're not gambling. Like he was just trying to talk me off the ledge because it was a very sensitive time right then and there.
Nice.
But But
because you probably still had brain fog.
I was still high.
Oh my God.
I mean, I went on a 3-day binger, and then the next day they're trying to offer me a snack.
And that's what happens to the brain is once you get into that cycle of gambling, like I told you, 120 days, just 20 hours a day. I couldn't sleep, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So when I stopped and got off of that hamster wheel, I couldn't think straight. And they called it brain fog. I didn't know anything about that. Nothing.
Right. No, I didn't know anything about that.
So I kind of had to educate myself. But you were probably in the hospital with the brain fog.
Oh, absolutely. I slept the first day. I slept the whole day because I was coming down off them. Plus, I mean, I was on all types of other shit. I mean, sort of the way I tried to take my life and everything. But yeah, but then I did take there was one of the little activities to do in the facility, and it was about dopamine and how they said that our brains sit at, say, a level 10 for dopamine. When we do drugs or drink, it goes up to 100. When we gamble, it goes up to 1,000. That's how much more dopamine gets pushed into your brain when you're gambling, as opposed to any other addictive substance.
And of all of the A's, all of the anonymous programs, which one is the worst?
It is gambling.
Which one is the hardest to quit?
Gambling.
Which one has the highest suicide rate?
Gambling.
There you go.
And what is the most expensive seat?
My seat.
They say the most expensive seat in the A programs is that GA.
Yeah.
And amen to that.
Hopefully, with this podcast, we want to bring a light on a very serious subject, that completely curb stomped me.
Yeah.
Rita fell flat on her face.
Absolutely.
And we want to bring some caring and understanding, get rid of the stigma as much as we can. We're only 2 people.
Exactly.
But we're standing on the shoulders of giants. We have great sponsors.
Yep.
But we have got to bring light to this subject. Plus, just happens that we're a little bit funny.
Yeah, we are.
Rita, I don't understand the damn word she says. She's from New Jersey.
Right.
She has a nerve to tell me that I have an accent.
Yeah. Basically, what we're doing is we're showing you the whole country, the whole world. Okay, we're 2 sections of it, Southern and Northern. But we have so many like-minded thoughts and so many different thoughts.
We have to surround ourselves with like-minded people, and we're like-minded. We're different as night as day, but we're the same as you can imagine. I think we were raised the same way.
I was going to say that. We did figure out we're raised the same way.
We were raised the same way. She stopped growing at 5 feet. I kept going. I tower over this.
She's like LeBron's size.
Yeah.
LeBron's height.
Oh, thanks.
No, I meant height.
Hey,
here's how I quickly
don't call a tall girl big.
Okay,
it'll go
all right.
Crazy. It'll go crazy. Yes, Rita has her own meeting on a fellowship that we go to called Rita Boom.
Boom.
She does the Boom.
So anybody listening to this and you're like, wow, I recognize that voice. It's probably from the Boom.
Yep. And if you recognize my voice, why are you on here?
Yeah.
I'm anonymous. What the hell?
Jill.
Jill.
Oh, Jill. So what was our topic for today?
I think I'll have a new name every day.
All right.
Until I decide. Okay, our topic for today is really what the hell is gambling? And
let's talk about that.
The disorder.
Okay.
Right.
So first off, gambling.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons why we started this podcast, and one of the reasons why we can say, "Oh my God, the boys are playing." The DraftKings is out of control. Running the stock market, things like that, and I'm as a bartender, I meet a lot of barbacks who come up to me and say, "Rita, I just gambled my entire tuition away. How am I supposed to go and tell my parents about this?" And it's so sad. It's so sad.
Oh, especially we talked to a young man last night that was 18.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we'll call him today.
We'll call him today. He just barely out of high school and he's looking for help.
Yeah, 18.
And he said they start this early. And we talk about make your bottom higher, not low, like Francie and Rita did.
Right.
Find help before you're having to, be anonymous on a podcast.
Listen, it definitely makes an effort. It definitely makes a point when it's you hit bottom, but you don't have to have a bottom like
you
Jill
really
and
don't.
I had.
You really don't.
Right. But if you do,
I was like, who's Jill?
But if you do have a bottom and you're sitting here on this podcast listening to us and you made it through, well, then we applaud you.
And ring-a-dingy. Ring us up.
Bring us up, right?
806-584-9676.
215-543-4553. You want to talk about it? Let us know. We'll make sure you get on the podcast.
We're going to bring lots of speakers in that can tell and, share their story.
Exactly.
We have topic. We have the tattoo challenge.
The tattoo challenge.
Yeah, for anybody who comes on here. We will have the midnight confessional. That's when you hear all the good stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, because gamblers are sneaky, liars, cheaters, stealers, thieves, whatever you want to call it. We were.
Yeah.
Not anymore because we have been restored to a normal way of thinking and living. How did we do that, Rita?
We worked the program.
We worked the program and walked up the steps. Yeah. So we're working it, and we're glad that everybody's here so you can understand this. Even if you have a family member and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And you're just telling them, why can't they stop? I hear that all the time. I'm in a program a little over 2 years is where I'm standing at now. But seriously, once I came in, that was it. They kept counting days, and I was like, why are we counting days?
Right.
I'm here for good. I'm a lifer.
Right.
That's how much I paid for this chair.
And because you had a very traumatic, I'm just checking how many days I'm at. I think I'm at 124.
Are you?
Let's see.
Yeah, she did have over 2.5 years.
126.
Oh, good. See, 2 extra.
I did have 2.5 years, but like I just explained earlier, I relapsed. And it was when they say that you relapse and it's worse, it is 1,000 times worse.
Because it's a progressive disease.
Just like drugs and alcohol, people who relapse, sometimes it kills them. Same thing with gambling.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that if you're an alcoholic and you go drink, it's worse.
Because what they do is, for instance, like drug addiction, when you quit, when you go back to drugs, you think you have the same tolerance level that you had when you quit drugs.
But you don't.
But you don't. And that's why a lot of people kill themselves by overdosing.
Yeah.
Well, same thing with gambling. I mean, when I went back out there, I didn't start at little $25 bets.
Hell no, that's no fun.
That's no fun. I wanted to go right back into the action. I thought I was still as good, quote unquote, as I thought I was. And it was fast and furious. And that's the first time it didn't take my life, or almost take my life. I thought about it, but I never acted on it.
Yeah.
Second time,
time to go.
My mind was set.
Yeah, I just wanted to not feel the pain or the shame or the guilt or anything when I had an attempt, and wound up in a lockdown. And what did I do, Rita, when I got in there?
She taught them all how to play poker.
Yeah, I have a freaking clue. Didn't know this was my problem. Didn't know this was an addiction. Didn't know I couldn't do it myself.
Wow.
I had a really supportive husband, and he told me, this can't be done with willpower. I think he watches Dr. Phil all the time. And so, he was the one that told me you can't do it with willpower.
Okay.
So after the little stay in the hospital, then I got out. What did I do? I had another relapse.
Okay.
And that's when I was like, all right, got to get serious. Went on Facebook, signed up on some help. I was looking for help. I'm in a southern state that has no casinos.
Yeah. See, I feel for you. She's in a southern state. They don't have any casinos. It's not really recognized. And it's like, so it's tougher for.
See, I think it's tougher for you.
Why?
Because you're driving by casinos all the time.
This is true.
You go to the grocery store, there it is. We have Lotto here, but that's it. I mean, if I wanted to go to a casino, I would have to drive hours to get there.
See, okay. For me, it's okay. So I think I don't know. It's easier because it's more recognized in my state.
Yeah. So you have help in your state.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you have help in your state.
None.
Because there's no casinos.
There's no casinos.
There's no interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
In-person meetings. I know of like 2 in the state of Texas, maybe 3.
Really?
I mean, I don't know much, but I.
So if you went to a facility today and said, "Do you have to pay for your facility?" Really?
Yep.
See, now here's an interesting fact, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in a state that has legalized gambling, the casinos have to pay for that.
Like Louisiana.
Yeah, they have to pay for the help, like that 1-800 number.
Too?
Oh yeah, New Jersey pays for your.
Okay.
If
It's only fair.
exactly. If I had gone to a rehabilitation center instead of where I went, they would have paid for that.
Really?
Yeah,
And you would have got help. You would have got. I got none.
I was 5 days. I was going nuts. All I wanted was a meeting.
No.
If there's somebody who was gambling during meetings or missing her meetings, because that's when it started. I stopped going to meetings. I stopped going to meetings, and then next thing you know, I started relapsing. And then when I almost took my life and I ended up in that facility, all I wanted was a meeting, and I couldn't have one.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Because 10 minutes a day on the phone, and so I couldn't.
I was on the phone all day.
Really?
People were calling me all day, checking on me, stuff like this. I mean, I was
different facilities, different places,
There was no help.
My 10 minutes a day were spent on the phone with my sponsor.
Wow.
Yeah,
nice.
That's it. So
nice.
Shout out to my sponsor.
Shout out to my sponsor.
Two great people.
Yes.
But then I got out and I ran to a meeting. In fact, that's one of the things that disturbed me so much was like, why am I in here and not at a rehabilitation center? Because I got no help those 5 days. I mean, I got help when I left there, I didn't want to take my own life anymore. But
yeah.
Did
they talk to you about the dangers of what you had done?
No.
Me neither.
Nope.
I had no idea. Well, I just know, like a friend told me when I came out, there's 2 things that will kill you. And I did one of them. And, the taking of pills. I did one of those. But I didn't know. Nobody took me aside. All they wanted to do was keep me there.
Okay.
Locked down.
They wanted you to stay longer.
They put me in the freaking geriatric ward. I was so mad about that. I was like, what in the hell?
Listen, I agree with you because I found out like my last day, there was actually 2 floors.
Yeah.
And I was on the worst. I mean, I was with schizophrenics.
Oh, not me. That would have been a little bit more.
It was like Girl Interrupted.
Oh, love that show.
I was Winona Ryder. All I had was a fucking headache.
Well, they moved me
after a bottle of pills with a bottle of vodka. Yeah. I had a fucking headache.
Oh, my favorite line. That's true. That's true. But after they, I kept griping about being in the geriatric ward. I'm not a geriatric. And
no, you're not a geriatric.
No, but I love old people, so I kind of had fun there. They were crying when I left, I'll tell you that much. I went down to the more 30s and up ward.
Okay.
And we had a great time.
Yeah.
We played games. We colored.
So they moved you from floors to floor?
They moved me, yeah.
Okay.
And all the old people were like, tell them you want to come back. And I was like, okay. No. I'm not going to do that. But the only way I got out, Rita?
Yeah.
My friend called me and she goes, hey, Jill, you know that party that we were at before you went and did what you did? And I was like, yeah. She goes, we all have COVID. So I went and told the front desk, hey, there's a possibility I had COVID. They didn't have a test.
No?
No, they didn't have a test. And I was like, I probably don't because I felt fine. They had to go to the grocery store.
And buy a test?
Came back, gave me the test. And that took all day because they didn't believe me. I had already tried many ways to get out of there. Okay. So I'm sure they thought, here she goes again.
Yeah, she's playing the COVID
But
card.
I'll be damned. While they were gone to look for the test, I started feeling really bad. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And they came in, gave me the test. Now, these people move slow.
Okay.
Right. There's, molasses up their ass. They move really slow. When they came out that I had COVID, they wrapped me up so fast. I was out in the driveway waiting on Tom when he pulled up. The door was still swinging. They pushed me out of there so fast, and I was like, bye.
I got wheelchaired out.
See ya. That's how I got out.
Oh my God, that's funny.
It was terrible, but I got out. I didn't care.
That's interesting. Well, in states that you legalize gaming is allowed, you are the government, or I'm sorry, the casinos are responsible for paying for all that. The 1-800 number, casinos pay for. Facilities like rehabilitation centers. If you can't afford it.
What 800? The one you see in the casinos?
The 1-800 gambler.
Have you ever called it?
No.
Me neither.
No. I'd like to work for it someday.
I know. I think that would be cool.
It would be great.
Yeah, that would be great.
We can't record them though.
Maybe we can get our own. We can get our own hotline.
No, we can't.
Yeah, we can.
We're gonna be responsible for so many
Listen,
lives.
Verizon will give you.
I don't know if I want that on my
They
accent.
just want you to sign up on a new line.
Okay.
We
Right.
call it.
We call it hotline.
Speaking of which, I need the name.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now, if you're wondering, am I a gambler? What is gambling? Let me tell you. Okay, gambling is sports betting,
Stocks,
casinos,
day trading,
bingo.
online betting.
You said stock market.
Yeah, stocks.
Stock.
Scratchoffs.
Scratch offs. The little peels that you get at the bingo parlors or the VFWs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The pull taps.
Mm-hmm.
Gambling.
The pull taps, yeah. Baseball card collecting and selling. Gambling.
Do you
want to hear the definition of gambling, Rita?
Yes, I would love to.
All right, I'm just going to read it to you right here. It's on the bottom, page 14.
Rock, paper, scissors. That's considered gambling.
Yeah, that's kind of, that's, I don't know. Sometimes they take it too far, but here's my gambling for the compulsive gambler is defined as follows. Any betting or wagering for self or others, whether for money or not, no matter how slight or insignificant, where the outcome is uncertain or depends upon chance or skill constitutes gambling. That is like Gamblers Anonymous official definition of gambling.
That is that should be read at the beginning of every episode.
I think so too.
That should be too.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go over the 20 questions?
I don't know. Do you want to go over or let's how about I ask you and you can I'll ask you the questions and you can give your say on the questions. I'll give my number one. These 20 questions are really what.
If you come into a room, most likely they're going to ask you these 20 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure that you're in the right spot and that you understand why you're there.
Because if you answer yes to 7 or more out of this 20, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number one, Rita, did you ever lose time from work or school due to gambling?
Yes, I did.
How'd that happen?
One thing I've been trying to do since I came back into the program for the last 126 days, I have tried to be on time because my mom was notorious for being late. She used to say, "You make an entrance, Rita Mary," right? But which I lived by. And even before I got into gambling, I was always late. It was actually a big joke between my friends and I. But then in recovery, I'm like, and that's a behavior that I know disappoints a lot of people.
It's
immature. Sorry, guys.
No offense to.
No offense to my mom. She was one of a kind. She wasn't giving a shit anyway.
Right.
She's totally late. She wouldn't have cared. But yeah, it's immature, and it pissed off. I pissed off a lot of people for being late. So since I come into the program, I have tried to be on time because one of the things that affected was my work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, did I ever lose time at work due to gambling? Yes. In fact, when I ended up into the facility, I missed a day of work, and in return, cost me my job.
Oh
yeah. We'll get into that.
And here you are, a sick person.
Mine
was, screw it. I just ain't going to work.
Okay.
So I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, number two, has gambling ever made your home life unhappy?
Absolutely. I lost a wife, a girlfriend. I lost a whole family. Yeah, definitely. It has made my home life extremely unhappy.
I did most of those 120 days was online. All of them. All of those days were online. And I was lying to my husband. I had my head in my phone. So I was ignoring everything.
Yeah. Staying
up all night, not sleeping.
Yep.
Whole thing. 3, did gambling affect your reputation?
Absolutely. Many times. I have avoided jail a couple times.
Really?
Yes. And because of my crimes or alleged crimes.
Allegedly,
crimes.
She had some crimes.
It has definitely ruined my reputation where I live back in Jersey.
Yeah. In my case, since I'm anonymous Jill, I only told my very close 5 friends or so. And, of course it did. It puts you in a different light. Number 4, have you ever felt remorse after gambling? God, this was the worst part.
I still feel remorse.
Shit. This was the worst part. And I'll tell you why. Because it's emotions. And this is an emotional illness.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
God, that number 4, it just It's yes,
That's
yes,
4
yes,
yeses
yes.
for us so far.
5, did you ever gamble to get money with which to pay debts or otherwise solve financial difficulties?
Absolutely. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes I remember one time my ex-wife was in the hospital and we needed to make our mortgage. And I'm outside the hospital betting. And when I had control of it.
Oh.
No, it was just a situation.
Yeah.
We needed to make the mortgage. I was outside betting. Once I hit the mortgage, I paid the mortgage and then went upstairs and told her, you can stay as long as you need to now.
Okay, then when did you blow the mortgage? 2 days
later? Yeah. As soon as she got out of the hospital, life went back to normal.
Yeah.
Right.
6, did gambling cause a decrease in your efficiency or ambition?
Absolutely.
Same. That goes with kind of the work thing. I just didn't go.
I own a company and I was with this relapse. I was flying high, man. I was best of Jersey Shore, things like that. My career was I read on the rocks.com. It was thriving, and then as soon as I started gambling, everything got put on the back burner. It just stopped being important to me.
I mean, a lot of it suffered. You just can't even really fit anything else into your brain.
You think you can
when you're gambling
because you're like, oh, I'll take care of that tomorrow. Like, oh, nobody will notice if I wait till tomorrow.
Did you know, Rita? They call this the disease that tells you it's not a disease.
Yes.
We're screwed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. 7, after losing, did you feel you must return as soon as possible and win back your losses?
Yes.
Chasing losses.
Yes.
Worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Worst thing I did.
Yeah.
Chase the loss. Never caught it.
Yep.
I heard recently.
Listen, I've won big.
Oh yeah.
Where I should have been able to just walked away.
And what did you do with your big win? Gambled it?
Okay. Yeah. At the end of the day, the majority of it got gambled.
If you can see how it's just a big fat waste of time, and you're not going to get it. But I've heard recently that if you quit gambling, you do get that money back.
Right.
Because you quit gambling.
Yeah.
And over the span, just by staying off the bet, you're more successful. So that money comes back to you. Don't chase it.
Okay, sir.
8, after a win, did you have a strong urge to return and win more? Hell yes.
Yes, of course. I'm unstoppable now.
Strong urge? I would say like a magnetic
I'm a professional now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are that was a magnetic pull. Not even a strong urge.
Yeah.
9.
It seems they'll make it win more.
Make you win more?
They let you win more because it's like they tell you. I know people who've gambled, thank God, and never won because then they're like, this is stupid. I'm leaving. Like I had friends who were like, Rita, this is the dumbest thing ever. But the ones who win, I had an ex-girlfriend once who won. And after that, every night I didn't mind because she was a bit of a whore. So if she was at the casino, I didn't worry about it. But when she won, man, so every night after she won, she was at the casino. I'm like, all right, baby, all right. Oh, my God. The slot machine, great. Sex in the City, okay. Keep pulling that Miranda.
Oh, no, that's true. Okay, here's one this is so stupid. Rita, did you often gamble until all your money was gone? Well, how else do you stop?
After my money was gone, your money was gone.
Their money was
gone.
That money. I did the worst thing in those gambling days. And one of these days, I'll tell you about it.
Yeah.
10. Did you ever borrow to finance gambling?
Oh yeah. I'm still paying people back.
Yes, of course.
Still paying people back.
11. Have you ever sold anything to finance gambling? Mm-hmm. Anything that wasn't tied down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It didn't matter whose it was.
Yep.
Right.
Oh yeah, it got sold.
12. Were you reluctant to use gambling money for normal expenditures?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's when you're going to save your money.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
That's when we're the best savers in the world.
Save this money for gambling.
What
do you mean pay the rent?
Yeah.
This is saving.
What do you mean, Nelson? Oh yeah, my water's about to be my water's about to be shut off.
I'm sitting in the dark.
I see your bluff. We'll see.
Exactly. Oh, here's a
paper toast still works.
Exactly. Get your water. Did you ever gamble longer than you had planned?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. It does. Oh my God. Yeah.
Have you ever gambled to escape worry, trouble, boredom, loneliness, grief with me, or loss?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm learning today, because I'm working my program a lot differently, that, this disease stems from a lot of my childhood.
It does, but these things happen every day.
Yes.
And you can't
I'm not blaming it on my childhood.
No.
No, I'm not blaming it on my childhood. I had a phenomenal childhood, minus some major losses, but.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
I just think you can't escape life. Still follows you around and kicks you in the ass. You just got to.
If anything, I thought it was fun because I used to have fun doing it with like my mom and Natalie playing bingo and stuff. But so it was like an escape that way. But realistically, I didn't realize I was using it as an escape in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now we're learning to cope with life.
Right.
And how to handle it. Well, actually, here's the good news. We're growing up. My mom always wanted me to grow up. I think I kind of am. What about you?
No.
No,
not at all.
She's not growing up.
Not at all.
Not yet.
My ex-mother-in-law told me I stopped growing at 19.
No,
I think she's right.
Probably
she's
right. We're fixing to change that with steps.
Yes, we are.
16. Have you ever committed or considered committing an illegal act of finance gambling?
Yes.
Yes, that's why jail's anonymous. 17.
But in my opinion,
yes,
what I lost was way more important, was way more devastating than if I had gone to jail.
Oh, God.
Like, they thought jail was going to be like, oh, my God, I was going to go to jail. No, it's the fact that you people aren't in my life anymore. Right, they're gone. That is more of a punishment than fucking jail. People,
they think you can stop, but you can't.
They thought that was going to scare me.
And they think you're just a horrible, awful person who likes it. Nope. Dave.
I still have no sleep schedule.
It's terrible.
This is the most of a sleep schedule I've had.
Being here. This is a sleeping house.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
All of my friends
makes me feel good about taking naps
again. Yep. 18. Do arguments, disappointments, or frustrations create within you an urge to gamble?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm learning different now that I'm learning to handle arguments, disappointments, oh well, frustrations. I go right to the serenity prayer for this.
I used to do it to my ex-wife. She pissed me off, and I'd be like, I'm going to fucking gamble.
Some people would piss off their significant others, so they would leave them alone and they can gamble.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I used to get fights with my ex-wife all the time so I could gamble.
You heard it somewhere. 19. Did you ever have an urge to celebrate any good fortune by a few hours of gambling?
Absolutely. Got a raise. That means I can gamble. Oh, got a new job.
Gamble.
Money's coming in again.
Paycheck. Gamble.
I had a job where I got
sun
paid
came
every day.
up. Gamble.
Yeah, as a bartender.
Sun went down. Gamble.
Steps go up, steps go down.
20. Last one. Thank you for playing. Have you ever considered self-destruction or suicide as a result of your gambling?
Absolutely.
That's the sad part.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't answer that one because they're embarrassed. Of course they are. But if you think about it, have you ever considered self-destruction? If you're gambling, that's your self-destruction right there. So that's
exactly.
Yeah. Well, I just want you to know, Rita, I got 20 for 20 on that test.
I got 20 on
good test.
I agree. Listen, my GPA in college was phenomenal, and that was probably
there you
the test, But yeah, and the way I tried to take my own life, this is how selfish I was. After my life blew up, I then decided to go onto a nice little binger because that's the way you solve your problems, right? For 3 days, I was on a binger until I lost everything but my $40. Then I started to realize, okay, it's time to go. It's time to take your own life.
Why'd you keep $40? I would have gambled that whole thing.
Because I had already started researching how I was going to kill myself.
Oh, you needed the money.
I needed the money because I didn't want to hurt myself. I didn't want to hurt when I died. I didn't want any discomfort. So I started Googling that, and it's on YouTube. You can find anything, and apparently you can.
Don't tell them how.
All right, I'm not going to tell you how. There is a way to commit suicide.
It didn't work anyway.
It didn't work. No, because guess what? If you're meant to be here, gotta make sure you're still here because I'm still here. It's
hard for me to talk about that suicide attempt. I'm almost more embarrassed by that and the damage that I think it did to my daughter than the gambling.
I hated the fact that I hurt my dad when I tried to commit suicide because it's just me and him left, and it's like the poor guy suffered enough. Yeah. But I wasn't thinking about him. I was only thinking about myself.
That's part of the brain fog too.
Yeah.
And the disease telling you it's not a disease.
All I wanted to do was fix what I had done, and it wasn't going to happen.
I just didn't want to feel.
Yeah.
I didn't want to feel.
Yeah. And I was feeling a lot of feelings.
Let's try this. We have some
Noisemakers.
Yeah. We have a whole audience here. Listen. Why didn't we hear that?
Maybe it's in the recording. Maybe it's in the recording.
Who knows? Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Whatever that's tied up to. We have no idea if it's gonna work.
Oh, we know our mics work.
We pretty sure our mic works. We push the record button on Zoomy.
Yeah. I think, listen, Zoom has saved our lives.
Thank God for Zoom.
So
Thank God for Zoom.
is going to help us with
I think I met Rita. I didn't know her. She lives in New Jersey.
How weird is this? 2 years you were in the program.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the program since 2020, and we never crossed paths.
Well, I've been in a GA sanction room, and I'm glad that's my foundation, because I do have a spiritual aspect of it, and I do work the steps. And oh my God, I'm telling you, my mother has directed me in every point after she passed away, you know, and I kind of dedicated my recovery to her. I'll tell y'all things later that there's just no way that there's no such thing as a coincidence, if you ask me. Just say that much.
Do we want to pause? I have to get some water.
Yes.
Do we pause it or?
Yeah, we can pause.
All right.
And let's see how.
What's up, guys? It's Rita BOOM here, just telling you, if you enjoyed this podcast, get on there and leave some comments, all right? Whether you liked it, you didn't like it, if it's good enough of a comment, we're going to read it online. Know why? Because it helps our algorithm. That way we don't have to charge anybody anything crazy like that. So, again, leave the comments, we'll read them online, and boom, boom, boom! Don't place a bet today, okay? All right.